Raider Nation, it's time to stand up.
Hey, just one time, I need it. Raiders. Third down and a long one. Jacobs back in the game. The rookie for the touchdown.
Snap for the gun. He's sacked. He is going down. Max Crosby. Pass on the slant, complete.
I do want to get to a guy who I like out of Kentucky, but I want to talk about Jeremiah, because I know we have a Jeremiah expert here. How you say his last name? The linebacker from Notre Dame?
Owusu Kamara.
Owusu Kamara. Okay, 6'1",
JOK,
215. What things I'm reading about is just like, and watching on film, a tweener, may not be a linebacker. Could be a safety.
Yes.
So wow. Yeah, that issue with him as far as that goes. Has 8 sacks. I mean, very versatile player. Can do a lot of different things. Reminds people of Simmons last year, who got drafted by the Cardinals. The way he's built, especially them signing Carl Joseph and needing a free safety. This would be a hard pick for them unless he gained a lot of weight to play linebacker here, he's a guy who's been mocked to the Raiders a lot.
Yeah, 0% chance. Zero. It's done. And I think, like, the discussions I've had on Twitter about him, just watching him, his role in our defense would be slot corner or free safety. Like, I'm sorry, if you've watched film on him, incredible player. Like the way he flies around the football field.
Him in coverage is pretty special.
Very special, very special. And reminds me a little bit of if you guys, Cowboys linebacker Jalen Smith, who played at Notre Dame. And when they recruited Jalen Smith, like, the defensive coordinator was like, he could start at 7 or 8 positions on our defense. He could play corner, safety, and that's kind of the same thing. But Jalen Smith was 240, right? So this guy's like 215. So
maybe 215.
Yeah. So I mean, if you look at him in film, it's crazy because some of the impact plays he makes, you're like, that's 215. So he plays out of his weight class on the field. That works in college and the NFL over a 10, 15-year career. That's not going to work. So great player. I get why he's mocked to us, but with retaining Monroe, that's kind of who I'd compare. Like we have, like, there's no role for him, so that won't happen.
Would you say
if he drops second, third round? Okay, I get it, but 17.
Would you compare him to somebody like an Arden Key?
No, I wouldn't compare him to Arden Key. I would compare his athleticism to, like, that kind of player, but no, he's a guy that can play.
He's actually
he can play in the secondary, man.
Yeah.
He could literally come into Gus Bradley's system.
Well, then, like a Tanner Muse, because Tanner Muse is the safety, and they're trying to figure out where his role is.
Opposite.
It
flips. It flips because the NFL and the college ball can be different, and plus what conference do you play in, and you're a pass half conference, you're whatever. So, but yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because as a Notre Dame fan, initially I was like, that's the guy, and now as everything's unfolded, I'm like, no, there's 0% chance. Sorry.
Yeah, and he's actually being the comps for him is Jeremy Chin. It's not even an actual NFL linebacker.
Yeah,
it's more of a safety.
Yeah,
he's a safety. Yeah, and I was surprised how much he did in the slot. He does a lot over there in the slot.
Oh, he can guard anybody. Notre Dame. Yeah.
So I'm gonna skip Zach Xavier Collins. We'll talk about him maybe another time. But Jamin Davis from Kentucky. The guy, I like this guy a lot.
You like him? Yeah.
I like him. Fluid, on the fluid in coverage, can do a lot of different things. Had 3 interceptions, even though he didn't drop a lot in coverage. He can't get pushed around by linebackers, so I'm not sure. This would be a good if they did draft him in the second round. That would be nice, and then he can also just learn from the guys who are already there, and then maybe take a step next year. Doesn't have a great great playing experience. Did play in the SEC as well at Kentucky, so I do like him. So we'll see what happens with him as far as that goes. But yeah, the class we know that who's on the top, and we know who's on the bottom. I don't know if the other 3 guys or other 4 guys are going to be first round picks, but We'll have to see. Maybe not. I think at some point, the thing that I think what scares me with the Raiders here is that at some point there's going to be a run on offensive linemen, and do you they have some ability maybe to move up, but I mean, do they just take them at 17 and then do defense the rest of the draft, or I mean, or get the best player available? Ken,
my position is this: if you're picking in the first round, that player's got to start day one. And where do you need him the most?
You ain't lying.
Yeah, and I feel like I like that thought, though. You do a run on offensive line players because we need the depth. We need players to learn the system, and you do that in the third and the fourth rounds. We have 3 third-round picks or something like that. So 1 and 2, I think they got to go defensive starters that are going to come in. I know it's kind of crowded, and on our defense, we don't know who's going to be a starter. I just one thing I want to mention, the cornerback situation. If JC Horn's not there or Surtan's not there, what's the other kid's name?
Farley. Yeah,
Farley. Then you don't take another corner because you took Arnett and then you took what's his face? I always forget his name. 27 Mullen. Yeah. So and then even Amik Robinson. So you've invested those picks there. Yeah. So why take another unless there's something there that you can't
isn't Casey Hayward? Isn't Casey Hayward still a free agent? Or Sherman? I think at that point you just sign a veteran. You sign a veteran in Sherman, and you hope that that the defensive back coach who is well regarded can come in and do his work. That's what I would say, Sean.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like the mix of I'm okay with a secondary. They're young. They just need the better, placement of the philosophical side of the playing the game. I'm not as worried there. Just give me a pass rush and have some kind of mix of people that can stop an elite tight end. But Isaiah Johnson, that's a name I'm a big fan of him. Like, I really think in Gus Bradley's system he could be something. I think Amik is going to be something. I think they're all just going to cohesively kind of come together, and that's what they need to do. But yeah, it's hard. But Ken's right. Like, and even when Gruden came in, who was one of his starting cornerbacks, a first rounder? What's his name? Garyon Conley, and he had to trade him. Like we and that's not his dirt on his hands, but I'm just saying, like, it's been absolutely a mess. And last year, the way they, tried to, in the media and the coach speak, they're just like, well, no one was going to beat out Eric Harris. Well,
that's a problem.
That's not a good thing, Mayaka Gruden. That's an embarrassing thing. Now it makes them look bad. So bringing KJ back was, cool, but
I still want Earl Thomas. I'm not gonna lie.
You know what?
And then you got Demarius Randall, who's starting, who just re-upped with the Seahawks and starting for the Seahawks.
And he's playing way better ball. So it's like, but I agree with what Ken just said. Like, Earl Thomas and Richard Sherman, those are guys that you probably can call post-draft still and be like, you don't have a contract. We've had faith in you. We've been communicating with you this whole time. We knew where your value was. If you want to come in and work hard, here's an incentive-laced veteran deal. You'll be in Las Vegas, and that's what you offer.
You'll get all the money with the state income tax.
Yeah, exactly. If you come, you come. If you don't, you don't. So I think that's a better position than they're in maybe last year. And then the Raiders could be, at 17, they could, whoever they think is the best free safety. I doubt they'd ever do it, but if the best free safety in the draft that Gus Bradley wants is there, who knows? Maybe they just take them and say, you'll be with KJ and whoever wins. I don't know. But at this point, the Raiders have to have their options open, and they have to be able to freelance what they're doing to align with, breaking 500. So whatever that is.
We need old alpha dogs, man. I'm telling you. I know you don't like the old players, but I think those guys that could know the system and that can teach these young guns, we have a lot of young players.
Yeah, Ken, to that point, to your point on that, I would agree. I would agree with Sherman. If Sherman wants to come here and play, post-draft, he doesn't even whether it's a bad team or a good team, he doesn't dog it. He always plays hard.
Yeah.
He knows the system.
No kidding.
And the hardest thing to do is to catch a ball that's not intended to you when the guy has a shitload of interceptions.
Yep. And he can teach that to guys like Mullen and Arnett maybe a little bit. Maybe he doesn't resonate because he's older than them. I don't know. But the biggest thing to me is that, when I look at what the defense is doing and Bradley, like, name me who's your vocal and physical leader of the defense. Who is it? Is it Yannick?
Kwiatkowski, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe Kwiatkowski. Does he build that over the offseason? Who is it? Abram is, a overcharged missile just out there doing things, but he's just like a cat chasing a laser pointer. There's like nothing, where is it? Like, who is that guy? We don't have one.
Oh, that's the clip
forever.
To
the defense,
Abram is a cat chasing. I'm definitely putting that one in the high. Where's the timestamp for that? I'm gonna write down the timestamp for that one. That was really good. I like that one. I like that.
45 minutes in.
We have to call one of these shirt companies to show Abram with some of the laser pointer over him. That's a good. I love that one. That's great. I love that. Let's roll over to some of the questions now. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions, all from all over the country. So listen, that means we're resonating somewhere. I really appreciate that. From the 718, Ruggs and Edwards in 2020 will ...
Play consistently. That's my play consistently.
Okay.
Contribute.
Okay. There you go.
I apprehensive about it. I'd say Ruggs becomes what Aguilar was and learns from Brown.
I can see that.
And Edwards becomes hopefully someone who absorbs more of those intermediate possession targets that Waller
red zone
is all we have.
Yeah, exactly.
Good question, though.
It's a good question. Just I love how you put ... from 718. Listen, like for me, I just want to see just being explosive. I think both of those guys have ability to be explosive, and I think those back shoulder plays Edwards should be doing that all day and all night. You come out of that break, back shoulder, and the ball's there. And then also, it's, Ruggs is explosive. And the guy can dunk from the dotted line. Like, throw some jump balls to this dude. Seriously, 11 can jump out of the goddamn building. He's not just a speed guy. He is an all-around athlete, all around special kind of player. The guy in Tuscaloosa doesn't usually recruit one-dimensional players. He usually recruits players who can do a lot of different things, right? Last time I checked. So I'm just saying.
Bama is a factory, so for better or worse. Some work, some don't. But
yeah, we have a baby. We have a baby oil question.
I
love those. I see the Raiders working out with Derek. Who do you feel like this helps the most? I do. I've seen Edwards. I've seen Ruggs. I've seen
Brown.
John Brown, which I thought was a good sign. And
Monroe.
My Raider crush is on Foster Monroe. I just like the player. I just think he's sneaky athletic. You saw it in the Colt game last year on that long touchdown pass up the seam. Yeah. The guy can make, and the guy has the ability to make plays in the red zone, where the Raiders, even though they average 27 points a game, they have some problems in the red zone. But if they can fix just a couple more points here and there, some of these games will be, dare I say, the Raiders actually win a game by double-digit points. Yeah. And we're not sweating out of our armpits in the fourth quarter every time.
Yeah. No, I look at those and I think it's a good, like Ken hit it on earlier, like they're out there, they're working together, like Carr is presenting himself as a veteran leader, and they're showing up and they're doing that stuff. That's a huge positive. I also I just don't get as caught up in the off-season workout
Me either.
people with their emojis. What is this one? Like blowing the smoke, and they're all like, zipped up, don't talk, and they all have these emojis all off season, and and then it comes to the season, and nothing comes to fruition. I know that's a little bit of that's how this kind of era is right now in this generation, but to me, it's like, put in the manual work, and I'm not going to think much of it because you're paid to do that anyways. But who benefits? Honestly, I don't know. The fans drool all over it, so I guess the fans like it.
Yeah.
It doesn't change.
I just like that they're doing it. I like that they're building chemistry. That's the way I look at it. I'm not looking at like, oh, they're going to learn the playbook in the park. It's the chemistry is what counts. John Brown. Yeah, that's
I mean, your receiver, the quarterback says, "Hey, let's go throw." I mean, why not? I mean, I totally get both sides of it. He could be doing something else. I mean, there's quarterbacks in Houston who do other things in their free time. So, I mean, I'm happy that's being done as far as that goes. Everyone in the nation is saying from 305. Everyone in the nation is saying Richie Grant, but I don't see any of the national guys talking about him. Why? Listen, a lot of people, and he is, as far as like I call it like maybe like the second tier, which is like the people who are on the ground, who cover the team every day. As far as like, the podcasters who do that, the newspapers who do that, they'll talk Richie Grant at free safety for their team or for the Raiders, but the national guys don't do it. I mean, they have to draft for every team. It's a little bit easier to draft when you're just drafting for one team. So like if you cover the Jaguars, you're only drafting for the you don't think about the Jaguars, right? If you're drafting for the Raiders and you're covering the Raiders like we do, we're only drafting for the Raiders. So I think that's probably why I wouldn't look for it. I saw Bucky Brooks just had a top 5 safeties and didn't have Richie Grant there. So doesn't mean he's not gonna be a good player. It just means that there could be, some safeties out there that don't make it. So he may not like. So we'll have to see what happens as far as that goes. And then again, like I said, it's a crapshoot. We know this. We know.
No, this. I agree. You don't know. There's so many holes on. I mean, the offense seems to be put together okay, but the defensive side, I mean, I think it's just going to come down to
safety. Yeah, pass rush and safety.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I don't know. I got a good way to close it out, but I'll wait till we're ready to close it out. But okay. Yeah, who knows?
All right. So let's see here. How do you see? I'll let you go first on this one. How do you see the Raiders using Kenyon Drake?
I'm sorry, you cut out at the end there. What was that?
Oh, so how do you see the Raiders using Kenyon Drake from? I want to get his area code in there because he from 605.
Something I saw with Booker that they did. They sat Jacobs like through the second and third quarters as they brought him back in. I think we can see that, like maybe he's kind of that the middle of the game type thing, give Jacobs a breather, and then let Jacobs come in and just steamroll everybody in the fourth quarter. I can see that happening, but I'm curious myself, man. I'm hearing wide receiver. I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, there's so many targets out there. And that's what makes it a weird signing to me. But Jacobs is a starter. He's going to start the game. I think he's going to finish the game, and I can see Drake kind of the second quarter, third quarter running back.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I feel like we've kind of been, we have a snake salesman sometimes at a coach for football operations in Gruden. I think we kind of saw it with, even when Jalen was retained, Gruden emphasized his pass catching ability and his slot ability potentially, and that never happened. Last year Josh Jacobs was supposed to catch over 60 balls. That didn't happen. I mean, so I think the piece is nice. You have somebody else. If if Ruggs is not clicking, if Edwards is not clicking, if Brown, like if the wide receiver group is in flux, like you're giving another component to the offense to work there. Jacobs is the violent runner. Kenyon Drake is the elusive 60-yard. I'll give you a big play. So I don't think we lost anything. I just don't know how big his role will be because the ball gets around so much in this offense. How can we expect that, Drake is going to be like the people saying like, oh, he's going to, 800 yards, 1,000 yards. I just don't see it. We'll just see. Hopefully in the red zone, he's a good player for us.
I can see them both on the field at the same time.
Third downs, first down,
and in a passing league, a guy like that is going to be. I might have an issue. Hold on 1 second.
No, you good, man. Kids first.
He's got a new recruit. He's got a little baby.
I think that surprisingly, he's well behaved, so quiet. My goodness.
And he didn't have on Raiders gear as well, so I'm just pointing.
Well, he just came back from a photo shoot. You see, he had
yeah, so he should be wearing Raider gear if he's getting back from a photo shoot.
I know, of course.
Come on now.
Seriously, I can see them both on the field at the same time. I can see them doing all different things. I think the thing that I like about it is Jacobs doesn't play 16 games.
No.
So this hopefully will give him an opportunity to play 16 games. The way he runs like Marshawn Lynch.
Like Lynch, yep.
But doesn't have the physical build of Marshawn Lynch.
No.
So he's a smaller dude. And I know he works out. I know he does all these different things. He's got the same workout with Jamar Chase.
Yep, seen that.
Jamar Chase with the Raiders, huh?
Nice player.
He's a good player. Somebody check.
He's going to Dolphins. I got him at the Dolphins.
Yeah, I know. But
if he, Dolphins.
Can you imagine if he was there? Gruden would be like, you have to chain him down.
Gosh.
It's hard to pass up.
Could you imagine? Take a wide receiver. But that's how I see him. I think they're going to utilize him a little bit more than people. I mean, you can do some screen game. The Raiders is never like, my God, with the screen game.
Yeah.
There's certain teams that like Pittsburgh does a good screen game.
With Connor and the other guy, yeah.
Green Bay does some good stuff with the screen.
Oh yeah.
For years, right? San Francisco, like it just seems like it's not part of the bag. And with the Raiders, with a more athletic offensive line, maybe that would be, that could happen as far as that goes. Let's see here. We did have a question about Richie Grant. Do you have familiar with Richie Grant from UCF? Sean?
I wasn't. I had to look it up. I had to look it up when you were talking about him.
No, that's fine. No problem.
A little bit. I mean, I watch UCF football because they recruit Hawaii quarterbacks, but I'm not normally paying attention much to the defense. But I know some people are very high on him. I don't think Gus Bradley will be. I think they got KJ in house. I don't think so. But
we got to wrap up soon, so I'm going to go with this one here. Seems like you two have a very different view of Derek. Why not just have an episode where you just duke it out? That's pretty funny. It's like I think that's pretty funny. I feel like I want our sports arguments that could become natural more so than like the whole like Stephen A versus Max Kellerman. Fake. The fake stuff. I
wouldn't do it if that's what we were doing.
Yeah. Shannon Sharp, the Lakers versus Clippers, versus all that stuff like that. So like to me, like I don't think there's anybody who's gonna change my idea with it or Sean's idea with it.
I'm going to say one thing. I want to say one thing about it. I wish our listeners could see our text messages because it's a little different sometimes, especially on game day.
Yeah. I mean, hey, like to me, the thing is this is how I look at it. Like we do this out of like pure joy and freelancing of being a part of fandom. But, I love my team, and if I'm going to look at it on this kind of a level, I'm not going to come in with the same emotional feelings that I have about certain players or things. I'm going to try to give it on a level that I think just is more on reality based. Like the side jab stuff, like I take a lot of I have so much fun with that on Twitter.
Troublemaker.
But when I'm on here, like, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, my feelings on Derek. I mean, what do you want? Like, really, is that what people want? Like, we're not dangling the carrot here. Like and that's why I say, like, when I come on this podcast, we all keep it real. Like, we have our takes and our feelings, but like, we just spin it as like, this is what it is and this is what it may be. And like, Derek is as controversial as any quarterback in the league for a pyramid, a multitude of reasons that we can't control. So that I can't control, that everyone's opinions can't control. So, the biggest thing that matters, as Dwayne has said, is that he's playing out that contract and he might get recouped. Like, he's here. Gruden loves him. This is the reality. 3 years we didn't draft a quarterback. That's who we have. Whether you like him or not, that's a different side of the story. But here we go, year 8. So we're gonna judge accordingly.
Yeah.
Starting week 1.
To me, my motto has always been build the team, and then if you want to go away from him after his contract is over, then you can do that. And the team is actually good enough where you're not rebuilding if you add a different quarterback. Like, just keep building the roster around it. Like, the reason why Tampa worked is because they built that fucking roster to be a monster. And then all you needed was a quarterback.
Dwayne said 2 bad words this episode.
He's just pumped up, man.
I'm excited. I'm excited. But you know what I'm saying? So I mean, Ken, what were your thoughts about that? And then you can.
No, I agree. I think I'm going to support whatever quarterback is taking snaps. I want Derek to succeed. I like Derek Carr. I do get frustrated at times on certain plays. I think this year he took a big step forward. I don't think he was the cause of losses this season at all. I really don't. I don't understand. I think people are sheep and they follow if this person has a check mark or if they have like several thousand followers and they put a tweet out and people I think they like to agitate. Form your own opinion. If you like him, you like him, because everybody's going to be cheering for him when he scores touchdowns. And I like him. If he goes on to a different team, whatever, I'm going to cheer for the next quarterback and I'm going to probably buy their jersey, even if he sucks. But
we cheered Aaron Brooks. We cheered Aaron Brooks.
Yeah, we
cheered Rick Meyer.
I'll admit, man, I was excited for Matt Flynn, man. I was thinking Matt Flynn was going to be the guy. I'm not gonna lie.
Like I remember I had a Jamarcus Russell jersey, and I was at a bar and I had white masking tape over the 2, making it a 5, and I had Gradkowski over the Russell on the back of my jersey. And I can't tell you how many people took pictures with me in that sports bar watching NFL. They thought it was freaking hilarious, and I was like, this is the state of where I'm at. So
how about that game winner? The game winner, he had Lewis Murphy against the Steelers.
Murph.
I was going nuts.
Steelers.
I was watching that game with a bunch of Steelers fans. That was incredible.
And that was big because Gradkowski's from Pittsburgh, like his family's from. That was huge. I remember that road game. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, there wasn't many wins in those eras, so you remember them. But it is what it is, and we're repping them hard. We got it.
We'll see what happens. Ken, I know you wanted to end the show with something, so we could wrap it up.
Well, we talk about all this stuff. It's draft season coming up. Everybody has their picks. They have their names circled. We have our likes or whatever. But I want to just say one thing about the Raiders. The only certain thing about the Raiders is nothing's for certain. So don't get your hopes up.
Oh, boy.
Nothing's for certain. That would sum it up. And there's nothing for certain at all with the Raiders. So we'll have to see what happens as far as that goes. And then all this will end soon, and we'll probably try to figure out something to do on draft day. We'll try to figure that out. What's going on? Maybe IG Live. Yep. Maybe I think IG Live now can do more than 2 people on there at one time.
Yes.
Reactions to it. So
cool.
Maybe it's interesting. So we'll see what happens.
I'm free. Let's go.
I got that day off. So let's
just
do it.
Wear your Arizona State sweater again, and we'll do it, man.
I like AFC.
Wait, what's it say?
Arizona State.
Trojan.
Oh, jeez.
Wrong Pac-12 school.
You know that. You know how I roll. All right. Later, Raider Nation. We'll see you next time.
Peace.